Sling Shot Extreme X Knee Sleeves versus SBD Knee Sleeves. In this video, we're going to talk about price differences, when to use each for competition, and then we'll break down some specific categories including comfort, stability, and just overall performance. Without further ado, let's dive into it. So when it comes to price, the SBD knee sleeves come out to $85, while the Sling Shot Extreme X knee sleeves are $82.50. So the $2.50 difference between the two pairs of knee sleeves. So if price is a huge factor for you, I don't think you're gonna have much help here when it comes to wiggle room between the two. $2.50 is obviously not that much. And if that price point for you is an automatic turnoff, then I would suggest looking into a more budget-friendly pair of knee sleeves. But when it comes to price, these two are pretty evenly matched. All right, so now that price is out of the way, let's talk about something that's a little bit more important in my opinion, and that is when you can wear these in competition. So these Sling Shot Extreme X knee sleeves, you can wear them in IPF, you can wear them in USAPL and USPA competitions, and obviously any other smaller federations that fall under the windows of any of those, you can wear these knee sleeves in. That goes the same for the SBD, but there is a slight difference. You can also wear SBD knee sleeves when competing in IWF sanctioned competitions. So if you're a weightlifter, then obviously the SBD are gonna probably be a better choice for you because you can wear them in competition and in training. But when it comes to powerlifting specifically, both of these sleeves will work perfectly fine for most federations. Now, if you are a weightlifter, there is a slight discrepancy here, but overall, these are both pretty solid sleeves at matching competition asks. All right, so let's chat comfort, which is, yes, the most subjective measure of our categories with these knee sleeves. So if we talk about comfort, I think both knee sleeves are comfortable, yes, but I do think SBD has a slight edge, and that's only because the inner material is a little bit more forgiving on the skin. It breaks in a little bit quicker in my opinion, and there's a little bit more of a thicker neoprene throughout the full knee sleeve. So it does feel a little bit more accommodating, especially for longer workouts. It doesn't feel so rigid on the knee, which, yes, rigidity is a good thing for your stability when it comes to workouts. But when we're talking about comfort specifically, I do kind of lean towards the SBD knee sleeves. Now, that isn't to say these are not comfortable sleeves. I just think the SBD have a thicker neoprene. They're a little bit more forgiving when it comes to just that overall friction of them rubbing at all if you wear them for longer periods of time. And they do have a slightly more smooth material on the inside of the sleeve. All right, so when it comes to stability for these knee sleeves, both of them offer 7mm neoprene. So they are both very stable options. But I can say that there are some subtle differences between the construction of them. For example, the SBD knee sleeves have more of this anatomical stitching. The stitching is reinforced, while these Sling Shot Extreme knee sleeves, Extreme X knee sleeves, have the reinforced stitching on the lateral and medial sides. Does one work better for stability purposes? Not really. I haven't noticed any differences, and even if I wear one on each leg, I don't really notice any big discrepancy between the two. I do think that if you circle back to our original category of comfort, then maybe there could be some discrepancy there between what you perceive as being more stable. But when it comes to stability, rest assured, I think both of these are good options, and they're gonna be very supportive with heavy squats. All right, let's chat performance. Before diving into this section, I do want to give a full disclosure that I have competed in SBD knee sleeves 3 times, and I have yet to compete in these knee sleeves. I plan to do in the fall, but I cannot give you performance thoughts when it comes to in competition for anything other than the SBD knee sleeves. So when it comes to overall performance, I think both of these sleeves are pretty phenomenal. However, I will say that what makes a difference for me is just their overall comfort. As mentioned, I do think the SBD knee sleeves are slightly more comfortable than these sleeves. However, both are very stable. But if you are somebody who likes to wear knee sleeves for longer duration workouts or for other movements outside of just your working sets of squats or whatever that compound movement might be, then SBD may be a more forgiving option just when it comes to the overall comfort of them. I think they do have a little bit more of a give to them, so they do feel a little bit more accommodating for anything other than the working sets. But again, personal preference. If you're looking for a true blue performer in one thing, I think they're both pretty phenomenal, especially the fact that they can be worn in most federations. All right, so who put up the biggest total today? You get it. I think SBD takes an edge when it comes to comfort, and then when it comes to stability, both these knee sleeves are solid. And when it comes to overall performance, if you are a weightlifter, then SBD is obviously, I think, gonna take the edge. But when it comes to powerlifting, I think both sleeves will fit the bill just fine. And that wraps up our comparison review of the SBD knee sleeves and the Sling Shot Extreme X knee sleeves. There are some subtle nuances between them, but overall, they're pretty comparable when it comes to stability and performance. All right, so who put up the biggest total today? So who put up the biggest total today?